well, as of now we are recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the webinar. That is what I forgot. I forgot to go to the website. So the website is sites.google.com/view/FIICA, and FIICA is written FYYCA. And then you'll end up in this place. And there is this navigation bar on top right, workshop 01. And if you go there, you'll see the slides that we're going to use for this webinar. And I can go full screen. This is it, full screen. Be notified that this is a European Erasmus Plus project co-funded by the European Union. And first of all, FIICA comes from the Norwegian or Scandinavian word fika with a K. It means coffee break. And coffee break, you have to see this as a social institution. So it's an informal meeting between co-workers and management, and it often takes place in a designated room. So that's the baseline of our project. If you try to understand the project, then this is actually where you need to start. It's about having a break, a moment of relaxation, a moment of informal talk. And the issue is, how are you going to do this when you can't do this in the physical world, when you have to use the virtual reality or any kind of tool or medium because you can't do it physically. So from that idea, I derived the acronym FII WINC CA. The F stands for friendly. It means that the platform we're going to use is easy, is user-friendly. It should facilitate interactivity, immersiveness. And there is a WINC, and the WINC stands for the fact that it should facilitate informal meetings, coincidences, serendipity. The C stands for cloud, as in this is cloud computing. You don't need to install anything on your machine. And alternative, be clear, this is not matrix kind of world. The virtual reality is still an alternative to the real world. We value the real world as such, even with this project, even more so actually. What I want you to do, and I'm giving you only a minute or two, you need a working email address. So be sure you have at hand an email address that you can check and that you can click on a confirmation mail. Because at a certain point, right at the start, actually I'll ask you to log into Mozilla Hubs. It's only about logging in. It's not about creating an account. Be ensured that Mozilla won't send you all kind of spam. It's only just this confirmation email, but you need to click it within a few seconds. Secondly, if you have at hand a nice picture or a small PDF file, then locate this somewhere on your hard drive so you're able to find it quickly and upload it. It doesn't need to be fantastic. It just needs to be something funny or cute or whatever. Something that you might want to share with somebody else, because I'm hoping that we succeed in coming together in the virtual space somehow. We'll see how that works. Even so, if you know a clip on YouTube, a music clip that you like, see that you have the URL to that clip, keep it somewhere in a notebook, or keep it at hand that you can share this. Now, for those of you who are working with any kind of computer, up until now, we haven't seen any issues with Safari on Apple. We have seen that Chrome is working fine. Of course, Firefox, the Mozilla browser, is working fine. This is a Mozilla platform that we're going to use. What is a tiny detail is I'm used to navigate in Mozilla Hubs using both hands. I have a mouse at hand, and I have these keys on my right hand, the navigation keys or the cursor buttons. So on your right hand, on your keyboard, you have this button to the left, button upwards, button downwards, and button to the right. I'll use these buttons quite frequently, and the mouse. But those amongst you who are only using a trackpad, I don't know the instructions for that. I can point you out where to find these instructions, but you'll have to experiment a little bit. From what I've seen over the last weeks, where I've done this multiple times with several people and several technical instances, is that most people find it easy, and it comes fluently how to navigate. Okay, let's get started. First off, you need to go to this website, https://hubs.mozilla.com. But the easiest way is actually to just Google it. So Google Mozilla Hubs. Once you've Googled it, you'll instantly come to this website, which is hubs.mozilla.com. And what you need to do is you'll see the same landing page as me. What you need to do is you have to look for a duck, a bath duck like this one. You have these yellow ducks that live. Daniel, you want to interrupt me?
I'm also pasting, copy pasting the link in the Q&A section on Zoom.
Okay, so whenever you go to the Q&A section, you can comment there. I won't be able to read them because I'm only using one screen. Daniel will surely keep an eye on that. But there you can find the link as well. But old school, you Google Mozilla Hubs. And then on this landing page, you just scroll downwards up until the end, the bottom. And at the bottom, you'll see this duck with next to it the looking for your old rooms button. Now, before you click that button, let me show you where we are in the slides. So in the slides, this one, we are here. What is going to happen if you click that button, visit the legacy hubsmozilla.com site, is that you'll actually go to a second page, the demo site, and on that site, we'll actually be able to create a room. Okay, so let's go to that place. Visit the legacyhubs.mozilla.com site. You'll see that the URL, the address, has changed now to hubsmozilla.com demo. And this website is actually the main website that we're going to use. On top, you'll see a navigation bar for Spoke, Guides, Developers Community, Hubs, Cloud, and Labs. Just before we press this Create button, let me tell you that Spoke is a tool that we're going to use to actually construct rooms. It's a little bit more technical than Mozilla Hubs. It's a little bit more technical. That means that most amongst us with no technical background, or at least no technical background considering virtual reality, you should be able, you should be able to handle Spoke. It needs a few minutes, and then you get the gist out of it, and you know how to.
Hi. Yes. So if I'm getting this right, this is basically a software designed to be used for virtual rooms and spaces, right?
Yes, it's a platform for social virtual reality. But you'll get to see it in an instant. I'll actually guide you to build a room. It only takes 2 minutes, so don't worry.
All right, thank you.
Keep with me. Stay with me. The guides is something that is useful. If somebody amongst you has issues with the trackpad and how to navigate, go to the guides, you'll end in the hub's documentation site, where you can find all kinds of interesting information, also about how to navigate with a trackpad. Developers and hubs, cloud, and labs are not for us, but community might be. I am sure that amongst us there are people used to communicate using Discord. If you go to community, you'll actually get an invite to the hub's dedicated Discord server. Okay, now, guys, you are about to create a virtual room. And like I said, it only takes a minute or two, depending on your internet speed. I'm inviting you to press this button, create room. I am going to. I pressed it. Now what Mozilla Hubs is doing on the background is it is creating a room for me. And I'll tell this in an instant. Before we talk about the room as such, Mozilla will actually ask you a few questions. The first question is, would you like to join the room, enter on device, or spectate? Let's start from the button, spectate. If you are a spectator, you're not inside the room, you stay in the lobby. That means you can actually see and hear.
Question.
Yes, yes.
Is this software available for the general public, or are we just testing it out?
This is open software. It is available to the world.
And how long has it been on the market?
At least 5 years, from my knowledge.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
No worries. Let's refrain from these kind of questions. I mean, you can look the zip code quite easily. It's not the intention of the workshop. The intention of the workshop is to get you introduced in Mozilla Hubs and to get you started. The point is that we'll actually are going to use the software for very specific reasons. But first, I need you to play around and explore the software, explore the platform for social virtual reality. So spectate is you won't be in the room, but you're able to see what is going on in the room. It's not so important for us. Enter on device. If some of you have an Oculus or another 3D headset, you can actually visit Mozilla Hubs or your virtual rooms using a device. For now, just click on Join Room. What Mozilla Hubs then asks you is your settings, your audio settings. For now, you can leave them as they are. You can leave them in the default value. Just click on Enter Room. Now you might see a different screen than I am. You might see a screen that looks like this, where you have to give yourself a name and an avatar. For the sake of this workshop, and actually it's good practice, is give yourself a name that actually resembles your actual name. So don't leave it in the random name, but make it your name. And about the avatar, pick one. It doesn't matter. Afterwards, you have plenty of time to customize your avatar or even build an avatar for yourself. It's not that difficult. But for now, it's okay if you pick one random avatar. Okay, I'm not asked for an avatar because I'm already logged in. You will see that in an instant. Now take some time. You have all the same room as I am. You are in this big conference hall, and take the time to navigate and see what is going on. Notice that I'm moving around. I'm looking at a billboard that tries to explain to me how to use the mouse and how to use the keyboard. Notice that you can look around, and notice that on your screen there is this tiny white dot, and the tiny white dot is what is going on, is the direction in which you are looking. Take some time to navigate. There are some stairs here. There is a moving banner up there. Have a look and feel in the space. While you do that, I'll go back to the slides. So at this moment, you have created a room. It's important that you keep the URL to this room. So don't throw it away, but take some time to copy the URL to this room. You'll see in the address bar at the top of your window, at the top of your browser, a URL that has the format https ://hubs.mozilla.com/ and then there is a code, a random code. It's a unique identifier. It's a unique location. So that is the actual address, city, country, city, street, house number, apartment number. That is the unique address to your room. Keep that address. Keep the room for you to share and to play with. So from this moment on, you can change this room and use this room for all kinds of purposes. I'm going to show you how. Behind the unique code on the right, you see a random name. Don't worry about that. We can change that. Also, don't worry about the scenery. You all have the same scenery, the big conference hall. Don't worry about that. We can actually change it. And that is actually something that we're going to do in an instant. So again, and I stress this, make sure that you copy the unique location of your room, the unique address of your room. That is quite important. Don't throw it away and keep on creating new rooms. No, keep this URL to yourself as a test room. You can share the link to this room, which is kind of the point of what we're going to do in Mozilla Hubs, is to get people multiple avatars in one room and join rooms together. A little bit about the functionality. I'm sure most of you have figured out how to navigate. There are some buttons on your left hand, the Q, the W, the E, the A, the S, and the D, which are used to either turn around to the left, rotate to the left, or rotate to the right, or move forward, backward, left, or right. The same is with the keys on your right hand, the cursor keys or the keys with the arrows. You can look around with your mouse. So if you move your mouse around, you'll see that the white dot is moving across your screen. At the moment, my white dot is moving in small circles on the floor. The moment I press in the left mouse button, I'm actually grabbing that floating dot, and I can actually rotate, look around, look upwards, look downwards, turn my head to the left, turn my head to the right. And if I keep on pressing that button and use my right hand to move forward, I'm actually moving around, and I can combine these actions. Look at our nice aquarium. Now, if you're wandering around in your room, like I am here next to the aquarium, you'll see in the middle of that room, you don't need to be here exactly. You can be elsewhere. You just look around and see if you can find objects on which you can sit. Like in the corner over there on the right, those are definitely benches. So we can sit there. But here in the middle of the room, there's also some kind of object on which you potentially could sit. Now, if you press spacebar, you will actually see that you're not supposed to sit on the middle object, but you are supposed to sit on the benches. You'll see that in the distance, there are these things floating in the air. These icons, they have appeared in the air. And when I point my floating dot on top of these icons, you'll see some kind of an avatar. It's a ghost avatar. Not the proper avatar, it's just a ghost avatar. And it indicates that I'm able to navigate to that spot. It's called a waypoint. So I can click with the left mouse button, and now my avatar is positioned on the bench. See, I'm positioned on top of the bench. There are multiple benches. If you jump off the bench, you'll see that in the beginning, at the terrace where we entered, there are more of these benches. See, we have under the tree, we have these benches. And again, you can position, you can look in that direction, press the space bar, and you'll see that there are a lot of icons floating in the air and a lot of waypoints where you can sit. See, I have now jumped to this waypoint and I'm positioned on top of the bench. These are called waypoints. What we're going to talk about the coming minutes are these buttons on the bottom. So you have this button bar at the bottom. You'll see from left to right, invite. With the invite, you can copy the room link to invite others to the room, which is kind of nice, and which is something that I wish you would do, invite others to your room. And the point of this website, of this webinar, is to learn you, to teach you how to make it your room. So change the scenery, bring in some personal stuff, so nice pictures, video links of music that we like, stuff like that. Moving to the right, you'll see voice. So this is the place where you can change the audio settings and mute your mic if you wish. Then you have the share button, the place button, the react button, the chat button. And moving to the right even more, you have leave and then more, the 3 buttons more. This is the button that we're going to use now. So I'm going to ask you to sign in. On the slides, it's called step 3.1, 3.2, more functionality. And I'm actually asking you to sign in. The procedure is quite simple. On the left of the slide, you'll see a list of the items of the actions that you need to take. On the right, you'll see the graphical information. So first, press on this button called More, the three dots. Press on that. You'll get a pop-up with a menu, and first you'll opt for Sign In. Once you've clicked that, you're asked to fill out an email address. Specify a working email address, and an address that you can check in an instant, and click Next. By that time, Mozilla Helps will have sent you a confirmation mail. Usually it doesn't end up in your spam, but it just enters with the regular mail. So go and find that activation email, click on the activating link, and you'll somewhere get a response saying that you have signed in and that you can continue. I can't demonstrate this because I have already signed in. It's just a hassle to go through that. So, but if you click on More, you'll see this menu popping up, and then on top you'll see Sign In. In your case, you'll see Sign In, and then click on the confirmation. While you do that, while you take some time to do that, what I'm going to do is we'll walk over the next points of the slides. This is the place where you can change the name and the avatar. You have already chosen a name and an avatar, but you could go back. The same principle goes. The information is here. On the left, you'll see the list of the actions. On the right, you'll see some more graphical information. So click on the More button, and then in the menu, choose for the option Change Name and Avatar. You'll get a pop-up, and on top you can change your display name. And on the bottom, you can change the avatar. When you click the Change Avatar, you'll end up in a catalog where you can select one of the available avatars, and there are plenty of them. You can also opt to create an avatar in a third-party software, which is going, well, if you look for it on Google, you'll actually quickly find Real Player Me or an alternative, and you can create an avatar, a custom avatar, and import it into Mozilla Hubs. But for all that, you need to be logged in. And then as soon as you click Accept, you will actually take on the avatar that you have chosen and the name that you have chosen. So Going further, I expect you have all enrolled yourself or that you have all registered or logged in into Mozilla Hubs. And I invite you to go into this room, the other room. So if you go on that side, so the right side, when you start from the terrace, go to the right side and you'll see this billboard with the fox and the bathtub duck. This is kind of, this is actually something that invites you to stand behind the billboard. So this is the fox of the browser, the Firefox browser of Mozilla, and the duck that represents the Mozilla Hubs. You can navigate your avatar behind the board and then position yourself looking through one of these holes. I'm sure that all of you have seen these kinds of billboards in the streets where you position yourself behind the hole and then somebody else takes a picture. Now you can actually take pictures when you click on the place button, which is the button that we're going to use in the next slides. There is no slide on using the camera, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Activate the camera and see if you can create a selfie, for example, of yourself. Not now, not now. Please just do something else. What we're going to do is we're going to write our name with a pen on the wall. For that, so I click on place again to close the menu, and I'll actually go to this gray wall. It says pin your pics, and it also says how to pin your photo, position it where you want it, mouse over and hold the space bar and click pin, repeat step 2 to unpin. So that's actually something that we're going to do. First, write your name. So you click on place, you click on the pen, and then try to write your name on the gray surface. If it doesn't look good, don't worry, you can still do it again. Sadly, we don't have an eraser. I haven't discovered an eraser in Mozilla Hubs. For those of you who have access to a 3D headset, you can actually do really nice stuff with this virtual ink. Voila, there is my name. And I can deactivate the pen by clicking again on place and deactivate pen. Et voila, there is my name, nicely written on the wall. You can look at it from different sides. It's nicely there. Notice that how the light reflects on the ink and how that color changes when you move around. So it's actually quite nicely embedded in the light of this room. Okay. Actually, if you wish to see this on the slides, you'll just go to slide 5, personal touch graffiti. I missed a slide. Let's go to this slide. This is quite an interesting slide. I'm sure you have seen the gathering hall now completely. It's a large room. You can walk around. You can do plenty of stuff with it. This is a really nice and very functional room. But let's change it into something different. For that, we have to click on the More button. So in your space, in your room, click on the More button, and then look for the option in the menu, look for the option Room Info and Settings. Click on that one. You'll see a pop-up or a bar on the right that moves out. And you'll see that my room, for instance, has received the random name Transparent Bountiful Soiree. And the scene is called The Gathering Hall, made by Mozilla Hubs. But below that, there is this Change Scene button. If you click on Change Scene button, you'll end up in a gallery with, or in a catalog with all kinds of rooms. Now you can use, this is only a limited set of rooms. You can browse through them, but you can also search. For instance, if you're interested in an underwater classroom, you type in underwater and you'll see this underwater classroom. If you're interested in an office, Just type in office and you'll get examples of offices. But just for now, you can keep on working with the featured rooms. And as said before, you can actually build your own scenes. Now, for now, I like this room, the Hello Web XR main hall, which is quite a simple room. It's a small room, it's a simple room, it's a nice room. I've actually used this to do some teachings because it has a Zen feel to it. So there is a table in the center, you have the nice ceiling, you have white walls where you can place images and a projection of my classes, and you have this purple tree. And this is perfect for having 5 to 10 students with you. And again, here I can write on the wall if I want. So place, pen, and then we have the pen, and I can write my name on the wall. Voila. Now, and Daniel knows this, we can keep on working in our own room, and I'm inviting you to do that. But it would be more nice if we can be together in one room. So what I'm going to do, and this is a change since the previous webinar. In the previous webinar, I kept you in your own room, but I'm going to invite you to come to my room. Well, actually, it's not my room. It's the room that we're going to use for this webinar and for some of the things that we plan to do in FICA. But before we go there, I wish you would keep your room. So remember the URL on top of your in the address bar. Keep that address. Keep that room. If you don't wish to keep this room for some reason, just don't. I don't know how Mozilla Hubs is keeping up with all these rooms that are being created. If you want to close your room permanently, so it doesn't stay lingering on, you can actually use this button, close room. You'll see that this is a waste basket, so you'll actually close the room. It won't be available anymore. I suggest, if you wish, you can use that, but there is no reason for. You can perfectly keep your address and your room and use it to experiment and to practice, and even if you wish to share with people. Okay, Daniel, are you able to copy this link we had? Where is it? The link. Where's my presentation? I need to go to the presentation because it's in the presentation. This link. The second. So this link will be pasted in the Q&A of this webinar, and just press that link. You'll see that you will jump out of your room into another room, and I'll do the same. What I'll do is I'll mute my voice in Mozilla Hub, so you will still hear me over Teams. Because we have a recording going on, and if I mute my voice in Teams, then the recording would go silent. But I will mute myself in Mozilla Hub. So if you leave Teams for some reason, you won't be able to hear me, which is not an issue. I mean, you have seen the best part and most of the functionality. You'll see what goes on, and you can actually communicate with the others in this room. So we'll go to this room. I'll join you there.
Yeah. Link is already there.
I'll quickly go to the Teams meeting and pick the Q&A link myself. FICA room. Just stay with me. Now, when you are in the FICA room, it's nothing much to see there, but I want you to try to bring in a picture. So I've asked you to look for a nice picture in your. I'll mute myself. And I'll change my avatar. I've asked you to find a nice picture, and so you could bring this into the Mozilla Hubs. I'm just going to see who is there. So I see a lot of people walking around. I'll see that we are with 13 people, and I'm inviting you to bring in an image. So the way you do that, and you can still see how I bring in an image. Let's see if I can find a white wall. Okay, there's a white wall. So I'm standing here before this part. You'll see left of the section where I introduced the partners. To bring in an image, you just press on place and you choose for upload. When you upload something, you see that you're going to create a custom object. You might have noticed already that you can bring in other objects, 3Ds, avatars, scenes. This is a custom object. So I'm going to browse for some kind of image. Let me see if I can find something interesting, like this one, and create an object. Stay away of my wall. This is my white wall. Please stay away. No worries. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So Mozilla Hubs has now introduced and it has rotated. So I'm trying to position my image close to the wall. You'll see that when I'm holding the object, when you hold the object, you have to move your floating dot on top of the object and then press the left button of your mouse, and then you're actually holding this, and you can push the object through the wall, and then it will become invisible. That's of course not the point. You can just position it in front of the wall, and you can walk towards the object, and you'll see that actually it's close by. See, it's not even touching the wall, it's just close by the wall. For now, that's not an issue. I can reposition it later. If you move your floating dot on top of the object, you'll see that the object starts flashing blue. And when you press spacebar, you'll actually see this menu. And look how the menu has rotated with the image. So I can't read all the buttons, but I can see the black buttons. I'm not interested right now in the magnifying glass. What I am interested in is the first black button, which is the rotate button. So if I move my floating dot on top of this button and press the left key of my mouse, I'm able to rotate the image. And see, I'm using very small circles to actually rotate this. Don't use big circles, but small circles. Those resort the best effect, and you can rotate the image just until you think it's more or less okay, and I'll leave it that. And I can press the other button, the button with the arrows, the diagonal arrows. And if you press that button, arrows, you can actually enlarge the image. I can position it a little bit closer to the wall, and next to it, I can pin it. So if you pin an object, like now my dog, she's called Toya. She's now pinned at that location. So if anybody else in the room wants to remove my image, you are not able to move this, I hope. If not, just leave my image there. The point is that if you pin an object, and when I'm leaving this room, the object will remain in the room. All the objects you bring into the room, as long as you don't pin them, they clean themselves up. So the moment you leave this room, you'll see that all the objects that you have introduced into this room will actually disappear, which is kind of nice. This is automatic house cleaning, which is actually very effective. But sometimes you want things to remain in the room so people are able to see. Like you see that on the right here, you have this gallery with all these presentations, and these are all presentations brought in, and they describe the partners in this project. And you're welcome to bring in objects. You're welcome to somehow leave a mark. Even this abstract art, it's welcome. It's kind of reflective of what we do. Somebody is trying to play a game, like this is clearly an OXO game. So that is interesting. Okay. While you are playing in this room, I don't hear anybody talking in Mozilla Hubs, but you can actually talk to each other. You have a chat function. I don't see any chats, but you can try to communicate with each other. I'm sure that some of you know that other colleagues of the same institute are inside Mozilla Hubs right now, and you can actually talk with each other. Notice how the audio is spatial in Mozilla Hubs. Test it out. Yes, I now hear voices in Mozilla Hubs. What you can do is you can keep yourself muted in Teams, but unmute yourself in Mozilla Hubs and talk to each other. Like I'm now in front of Bale Mail or Bale Male. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but Bale Male would not be able to hear me because I'm muted in Mozilla Hubs. And there is Rupnik. So keep on playing with this. While you are playing, I'm going back to the slides. So the slides are a list of actions that you can take in Mozilla Hubs to redecorate. Bring in a picture, bring in an object, reposition this object, and combine this with images that are relevant to you. Bring in some nice videos or objects that you can do. And you can actually share your room. So if you can actually bring in the link to your room in Mozilla Hubs, inviting others. Well, I'm going to mute myself and otherwise I'll keep my hearing myself double. Okay, so be sure that you practice these actions in Mozilla Hubs. Now the point is this next level. So you might wonder why did I introduce you to this space? Why did I introduce you to Mozilla Hubs? And what's the purpose of all this? Well, the purpose of all this is that you guys learn this platform for social virtual reality. Learn to know what its constraints are, what its possibilities are. For instance, in Mozilla Hubs, you are able to fly. You can't fly in the real world. Well, actually, you can fly using some kind of flying device, a helicopter or a plane or something. But I mean, in Mozilla Hubs, your avatar can fly. On the other hand, in the real reality, in the physical reality, you can actually eat and drink something. We can't do that in the virtual space. You can't taste anything. You can't intake something. Your avatar is just a 3D object with nothing more, nothing less. So what is the purpose of all this? Well, the purpose is to actually create social events. So imagine you do a birthday party and you know perfectly well how to organize a birthday party, what to do, what the logistics are, what actions you could take during a birthday party. You can share cake and have a drink, sing songs, sing the birthday song, or do some karaoke, play games, or sit around a nice table or a nice open fire, maybe, Now imagine that you have to organize a birthday party, your birthday party, but now your friends can't meet. Your friends can't commute to where you live, and you have to somehow meet each other otherwise. So you could call each other over the phone. Maybe you can WhatsApp each other, or you can use any kind of video conferencing tool to meet each other. But maybe there is something else. Maybe you have something like Mozilla Hubs. What's the point? Well, if you see each other through video conferencing, I'm now talking to you guys through Teams, through video conferencing, and it's actually not immersive. I'm not able to see you. Imagine that I would invite you over to come to do this webinar or a like webinar in Mozilla Hubs. Then I would have a stage feeling. I would see and hear you guys, not as persons, but as avatars. And you're floating in front of me, and I can see all these avatars moving around, and I can hear from where I'm standing that some of you are actually talking together. Small informal talk. It's not disturbing at all. It shows me that you're actually collaborating with each other, and you can move around. And I can actually command you to go to somewhere else in the room and convene there, come back to me, and stuff like that. And the same with the birthday party. I would be able to see my friends as avatars. I could invite the avatars to move over to a certain location in my virtual room and see images of the birthday cards I received, because I made pictures of these birthday cards and I brought them into my room. I can even make a picture of the present I already received, or the cake that my mom prepared for me, and share this in the room. And we can move to another place where I have a playlist of the music that I like, and I can start the playlist and we can sit there. We can even dance if you wish, make the avatars move around. We can actually do games. We can do an avatar race. So that's where we want to bring Mozilla Hubs in Fika. We want you to quickly understand, rapidly comprehend what Mozilla Hubs is, how to use it, maybe bring you up to an extra level where you are able to do more customization and tailoring in Spoke, but all with the same purpose. And the purpose is to create a room that has a purpose, that has a meaning to it. Why would you use that room? For what reason? For what scenario? And I think, Daniel, is this, we still have like a little bit over 5 minutes. Is this a good point where we can actually stop and see if somebody has comments or questions? I'm sure that Daniel is not anymore with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting for your questions.
So I've stopped sharing. Probably some of you will remain playing in Mozilla Hubs, which is okay. But does anybody amongst you have questions, issues, comments? Is any of you not inside the project or not going to Kokkola in a few months? And those who are going to Kokkola, do you have issues, questions, remarks? Did you like the presentation? Did you like the webinar?
I enjoyed it. I have a question about this Mozilla Hubs.
Yes.
Do you know like how often it gets updated for like a better placement of objects or writing? Because it's still quite clunky, I would say.
It has a cartoonish feeling to it. Yes, I know. It gets updated maybe 2 times in a year. We won't be able to see much of these updates because they're like on a really technical level. But I know that at the moment the community is quite enthusiastically working around behavior graphs. Behavior graphs is something technical that they use to enable people like us to create interactive 3D objects without writing code. So what you get is a graphical user interface where you connect activators with each other, and so they become a behavior graph, a graph that indicates how an object would behave. And currently, what we're able to do is to create this in a platform like Blender, or in a software package like Blender, and export this into Mozilla Hubs. And then you would be able to see, for instance, a closing door where you have to press the button and then the door opens, and you press a button, so a button that is shown on the image, and you press the button and the door closes. So objects become more interactive. At the moment, we don't have that interactivity, but it's coming.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. More questions, remarks, feelings? No? Okay. Are there partners from FICA amongst us that wish to share something? Nope.
Yeah. Overall, you have to take into account that the best part of Mozilla Suite is not just the graphical part, because there are a lot of 3D engines that may work like in our most realistic way. But here, the power is to create something that is really accessible for everyone, from desktop, from phone, from everywhere, and that you can share, you can create in real time and have this interaction. And it's something that it's not possible in other tools. So the point here is to think about what kind of ideas can come into your mind to create something that may make the most from these possibilities. So
yeah.
we encourage you to start thinking about that.
Yeah, and even you can use your phone. You can most of these rooms that, like the ones we have created right now, you can actually visit through your phone. And the point is not the virtual reality or the technical part as such. The point is to imagine how to create a social event in the virtual space. Creating a room, it's nice. It looks like a game. It is actually quite playful. But what's the purpose? Why would you bother do that? So you have to think about the purpose, and the purpose in our project in FICA is that it's all about creating a social event, bringing people together, not using video conferencing, but using this more immersive technique, and see how it functions. What scenery do you need? What kind of objects do you need? What kind of environment do you need to facilitate a very specific social event? And then that social event, if you look at it, what happens? What's the scenario? What's the narrative? Which actions, if you break it down into atomic small actions, what are these actions? Is it about walking around with each other and talking about something? Yes, we can do that. Is it about collaborating in writing a document? Yes, we can do that. Is it about presenting a PDF file and discussing about it? Yes, we can do that. Okay, so how will that actually interact? How will get used to Mozilla Hubs? Get some flight hours. I would call it flight hours. You get experience in Mozilla Hubs, and while you are in the virtual reality and you create some bodily feeling about how it feels to be in Mozilla Hubs, then your brain starts to shift and your brain starts to accept the boundaries and the possibilities and the constraints of the virtual reality. And that's where I need you to end up, so you are able to fantasize and think about social events in virtual space.
Hiram, thank you for excellent explanation. I believe all students got basic information about the project and also Mozilla Hub. So now we just have to train and get used to it.
Indeed, Dario, that's a really nice conclusion. Thank you. Any more questions or remarks? Feedback? Okay, if not, I will stop this meeting, stop this webinar. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for registering. And I'm suggesting that you keep your room, that you experiment with your room, and that you keep following the website on Google Sites. Keep track of what is going on there. You'll see change in the coming months as we proceed with our project. And for some of you, I expect to meet you all somewhere in May in Kokkola, Finland. Otherwise, have fun this week. Enjoy the Christmas events and the new year. Be safe and good luck with all the exams that you guys have. So take care and bye for now.
Goodbye. Thank you for coming.
Voilà,